On these hills, a plane crashed, and not just any old small little Cessna plane, some really big plane, a B-29 Superfortress. They actually called it overexposed, and I think it was kind of underexposed when it ploughed into these hills. We're not so deep into the Peak District, and we found out why it was called Bleaklow Hill. Just, it was a bleak day. It was very windy, it was very cold. You'll see through the video just how windy it was. The aim of this game is to show Danielle the plane crash. The local governments and councils at the time didn't clean up all the aftermath. They took the bodies, they laid them to rest properly, they'd done everything remarkable for them, but they left everything up there. All the plane assets, the engines, the wheels, the fuselage, everything was just left. They say they left it as a memorial. Let me know in the comments whether you think it was a memorial or just pure laziness. They have stuck a plaque up there to tell you what it was, when it happened, how it happened, and how many lives were lost. It's one of those things where you think, wow, that's quite cool. You go up there and it is actually quite daunting to see so many lives were lost in this one little plane crash. The rumour has it was flying out of Manchester Airport and it hit the hill in thick clouds. They basically didn't see the land. They just ploughed straight into it. On the top of the hill, it's just a nice walk. It's off the beaten track. It's not signposted, but you just sort of follow the well sort of trodden paths. That's it. We found this little river, and it was really boggy, so we couldn't really find a way over it. We eventually did, and it was a beautiful scenery. The Peak District is nice, but this is why it's called Bleaklow Hill. It is a bit bleak up there. We go up to the, I think it was called Higher Stone Shelf, and if you find that on the map, you're going to find the actual crash site itself. Now, I'm probably going to get some stick for giving that. There is a trig marker, so you can go up there and get your trig points. I'm quite proud of myself for holding the camera so steady through this part, because believe me, it was blowing a gale. An absolute gale. Look, there you go. You can see the cover for the camera just flapping away in the wind. It was, look at her. It really was blowing a gale. Freezing cold wind. Look, there you go. I look like Johnny Bravo with that haircut, don't I? Just behind the trig point, you start to see signs of it. And it is daunting. You look at it, just it's spread over a wide area. Engines, that's the actual engine itself, and the cap on the end that holds the propellers. And it's just really daunting. Now, because of some of the materials that were used, there's the wheels. Some of the materials that were used to actually make the plane was like aluminium compounds, and they just look like brand new pieces of metal even now. Look at that. Even the tyres are left on the actual wheels. The whole... This is where there's a bit of a memorial to them. You'll see if you do go and check it out. There is a lot of memorials up there where people have placed crosses and stones and left something on the actual memorial part itself, just to remember the 13 lives, the American 13 lives that were lost through this whole event. I mean, look at it. It's spread over such a wide area. If you do go up and see it, it is vitally important. It is a memorial, or it is laid out to be a memorial. So treat it with some respect, pay your respects, take your litter home with you, don't destroy the area, and just use your common sense. There's loads of random bits. I couldn't piece it together, but you can see where the actual plane had crashed and the direction it was going, because the wings and the wheels were at one side, the rest of it was scattered down the other side. Subscribe!